Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and video games might be a safer bet than relationships in 2025. Now, if you've been following the channel for some time, you know that we like to deviate our topics from time to time. And every once in a while, we'll have a conversation around a topic that's video game adjacent, right? May not necessarily be about a video game particularly, but it could be related to something that's happening in society. And I recently heard a story that I felt earns a spot on my channel because of the level of ridiculousness and how something like this impacts men in society today. So by now, many of you have heard about the young lady who works for DoorDash or worked for DoorDash that no longer works for DoorDash. But if you haven't heard about this recent story, let me help you out. So imagine you're at home and you decide that you want to get some DoorDash. And you place your DoorDash order, and your specific instructions on the DoorDash order are for the delivery person to leave your order right at the front door and walk away. And for whatever reason, between the time you place your order and when your order gets there, you decide that you're going to have some fun with yourself. You roll your pants down, you roll your underwear down, and you get to going, if you know what I mean. And I guess you put in so much work on yourself that you wind up falling asleep. Well, then the DoorDash lady arrives with your food, and your door, for whatever reason, is open. And instead of the DoorDash girl putting your meal down at the front door and walking away, she decides she's going to go inside your house and see what's going on. And so she sees you on the sofa, laid out, pants down, freshly tired. And instead of seeing that scene and backing away, she takes it a step further and pulls out her phone and decides to record you and take images of you. And then she uploads those images and that recording to social media, providing your full name and address for the world to know and see. And now your whole life has been turned into a meme. After she does this, she goes home. She probably tells her friends, and she's probably loving the viral media attention that's coming from her post. Well, her joy is short-lived because the video becomes more viral than she anticipated, and DoorDash winds up getting wind of what she's done. And so what DoorDash does is they deactivate her account and essentially fire her. So now she no longer works for DoorDash. But guess what? Just when you thought the story was over, it gets even better. This woman who got fired from DoorDash then turns to the internet again and tells the internet that you, yes, you, while you were asleep, knocked out unconscious from having the best session with yourself you've had in a while, she claims that you essayed her, that you assaulted her after she trespassed into your home. And now, not only do people know what your junk looks like, they know your name, they also know where you live, but now they're looking at you as a perpetrator of assault on women. Now, this story might sound like a scene from a video game, but this is real life. This is something that actually happened. And when I heard this story initially, I said, you know what? Well, there's no way that anyone with half of a brain cell really believes what this lady's saying. But she actually wound up getting supporters who support her. And the only thing that I could think to myself when I heard this story was how bad I felt for that man, because regardless of whatever he was doing it in his own home, in the privacy of his own home. And if he wants to lay out on the sofa with his pants down in his house, I think he's earned the right to do that as long as he's paid his rent and he's not committing a crime. But this woman, because she's being held accountable for something that she did that was wrong, instead of taking accountability, she is now throwing accusations of SA, which is wild, on this young man. And I know I'm not the only one who saw this story. I'm sure a lot of people saw this story. And what a lot of people are saying is that had the DoorDash delivery person been a man who walked into a young woman's house and recorded a naked woman on the sofa, and then posted that to social media, that man would have been in handcuffs within hours. It wouldn't have taken 2 days for him to get fired, because she just got fired. She had charges haven't even been pressed yet. But if a man did that, he would have been in handcuffs within hours. And you're like, well, why 2K? Why are you talking about this? Why are you bringing this topic to us on a Tuesday morning? I'm bringing this topic because this is the primary reason why more men are choosing video games over relationships with women. And I'll take it even a step further. This is why more men are choosing video games over even attempting to interact with women. And it's sad, because I think women are necessary, just like men are necessary. And men need relationships with women, and women need relationships with men. But unfortunately, we live in a society where a lot of men feel like it is a dangerous endeavor to attempt interaction with women, because even when you're not interacting with a woman, even when you are unconscious, a woman can still and will still blame you and put accusations on you that could land you in jail, in serious trouble, even when you're not even conscious. And I thought that this story is a primary reason why more and more guys on Saturday night, instead of attempting to get dressed and go out and meet women, are saying, you know what, I'm going to stay in and I'm going to play some Call of Duty. Or, you know what, I'm going to stay in and I'm going to play some, whatever, Fortnite, whatever game it is you're going to play. This is why men are choosing to do this, because for a lot of men, video games are just a safer bet. You don't have to worry about anyone claiming you did anything to them. You don't have to worry about anyone trying to expose you and embarrass you online, because that seems to be the common trend these days for a lot of women. The first thing they want to do is take you to social media and expose you. And the reason why is because society, it feels in some ways that it feels like society is allergic to holding women accountable. Now, in this instance, there's just too much hands down proof for this lady to point the finger at anyone but herself. And I'm hoping that young man that she exposed gets a very good attorney and sues not only her, but also sues DoorDash, because it shouldn't have taken DoorDash 2 days to fire her. And I'm sure DoorDash is scrambling their legal team right now, because they've got some serious liability here. Or maybe they don't. I'm not an attorney. If you're an attorney, you can let me know. But this is one of those stories that, although it's not directly linked to video games, when I heard it and saw it, I said, this is the primary reason why more men today are opting to forego interactions with women and are choosing to just stay home and play video games. Do I think that that's the answer? No. I don't think that that's the answer. I think as a man, you need to be balanced. I think that as a man, video games are cool and they're a great hobby and they're a great way to decompress, but you still need social interaction. The same way it's easy for you to sit at home and call up your boys and get a game of Call of Duty going, it should be just as easy for you to call up your boys and say, you know what, guys, we're going out tonight. We're going to grab some food. We're going to put on some good cologne. We're going to put on some nice clothes. We're going to get a fresh haircut and we're going to go out and do something. I think that that's needed too. But when you see these stories that demonstrate extreme levels of delusion, and when you understand how some women in society today are trying to put anything that they don't like, how they're trying to, anything that offends them, anything that forces them to be accountable, they're trying to sweep all of that under these broad terms of whether it be abuse or SA. This is dangerous to a man because men don't get the same grace that women get. They just don't. Men will get locked up faster. People will tend to not believe the man. Men just have it harder. And in a lot of instances, especially when it comes to instances between men and women, men are never really given the benefit of the doubt. Whereas with women, you can literally walk into a man's house, trespass, record him without his consent, upload his images to the internet for the world to see, expose his name and his address. You can dox him. You can do all of that and then turn around and claim that he assaulted you. What in the Final Fantasy is going on here? I don't understand it. But you guys let me know what you think about this, because I thought this was wild and I thought this was worth a conversation. Let me know down in the comments and I'll catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.